Okay, so let's take a look at what's inside the parcel and what it consists of. So straightforward, comes in a bubble wrap sleeve. Now this is actually slightly wet because I ran this through the shower, which I'm hoping to just take some video of to add to this. But it's ever so straightforward. I mean, I'm happy to show you, but obviously the thread here, you just unscrew your existing shower head. This just screws straight on. The washers inside the actual pipe, the tube end, so that just forms a seal and the thing works fine. And I'll probably put some video in here of it working. So the basic principles. This is very basic, and I would say that someone explained this to me in great detail at a conference. Made a lot of sense. It was very scientific, and I bought one immediately, and I did feel different. So I'm selling this based on my personal experience, not my expertise. And there's plenty of research that you can do if you want to know the more finer detail. So I've seen it advertised that these filters will remove heavy metals, chlorine particularly, alkaline the water, rust particles. I'm not sure how true that exactly is. I do believe that the end result is very similar, but the way it was explained to me is, so you have a selection of ceramic balls basically. The water goes through, agitates the ceramic balls, and in turn the ceramic balls are sort of agitating the water. There's 3 different types in the head, neck, and then the main arm. A lot of this has to do with ionisation, deionisation. The way I had it explained to me is chlorine, for instance, is quite a harmful chemical. If you put small amounts of it into water, it will kill off, bacteria and germs and things. So it keeps the water clean, safe to drink. And I think I'm not a big fan of drinking chlorinated water, but I don't think it will harm you significantly. Studies have shown that tap water won't actually harm you significantly. There are people I know in the kind of clean living community who don't want to have anything to do with it. They're happy for the chlorine to be in the water up until it gets into their house, and then they want to remove it. I have a drinking water filter which removes pretty much all of it, and I use these for my shower and also for filling my bath because the water is a lot cleaner and a lot fresher. Now the way I'm going to explain this, maybe it's not the most scientific, but rather than saying it just removes chlorine, which I don't know if it does, to be honest, what it does is it breaks up the sort of the chemical chain that produces chlorine. And what we're concerned about here is if you're having a hot shower and the water with chlorine and other contaminants turns into steam, into vapour, the real concern then is breathing it in. It can be irritating, even in fairly low level to your eyes, but most importantly to your lungs. So you don't really want any minor irritations or damage to your lungs through breathing in this chlorine. Again, it's not an expert citation, but I do know that chlorine was used, in World War I to poison the Allies' front line, and it was devastating as a chemical weapon. Obviously, you're probably talking about super concentrated chlorine, but my concerns really were bathing in it every single day or every few days for a full bath, but showering every day where you are breathing in this vapour every day for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, I personally just don't think that helps. The shower itself may not kill you, but one of my key principles is to remove as many different toxins that you ingest as possible so that your body doesn't build up all of these various toxins from various sources, which when tested in isolation are fine, but when you have them all built up in your body, I think can cause issues, cellular disruptions, inflammations, that then lead on to diseases that are fairly hard to trace back to the root cause. Again, I'm not a doctor, but through the way I live and the research I've seen, this is my belief. And so far, I have noticed a difference in the way I eat, drink and bath. So taking a look inside the product, it's fairly straightforward. ABS sort of plastic, fairly robust, chrome coloured plastic. Obviously it's not actually chrome. I suppose most shower heads aren't, because you'd probably find rust eventually. Now, this is my honest experience. I bought one of these a few years ago, and I used it every day, and my family used it every day, loved it. And I probably think after about let's think about this. I reckon I probably had it for 3 years. when finally just the build-up of limescale. I've got really hard water in my area, and it's only plastic, and I took it down to clean it, fiddled around, and it just kind of broke. So, but I thought for the money, 2.5, 3 years use out of it was fine. I bought another one, but now I'm stocking these as things to sell as part of that whole sort of cleaner living shop that I have. Also, something I should point out, I use these fixed head units, and what you've got these kind of small holes around the outside. They make a nice sort of this laser cut, actually reduces the amount of water you use, so it's another sort of environmental benefit. But you can get an intense jet in the middle with these surrounded jets, more dispersed. You can buy versions of this where you can switch it between the two. However, from friends' experiences, the more moving parts with the limescale build up and the fact it's made out of plastic, the quicker it's likely to fail. So people I know who've had those units advised me to just get the one you're going to use, because with the switching units you probably won't end up switching it very often anyway. You know, and I'll show you the video of what this comes out like. It's lovely, it's fantastic to use. So the advice I was given is stick to the fixed units so that less moving parts, it lasts longer fundamentally. So let's have a look inside what this is actually made up of. I had to be careful, and it is a bit damp because I've run water through it first. So, but basically, if you unscrew the midsection carefully, oh, that went better than planned. You've got this kind of collar, which is not important, but inside there you've got the actual ceramic. You can see this. You know, that's the first stage ceramic beads. Then you have got a secondary filter, just keeps the beads separated really. But I mean, you don't need to do this. I just thought it'd be useful to see. If you look inside, then you've got in this sort of compartment, you've got a different type of ceramic bead. Yeah, and obviously, I have heard people saying you can buy refills for these, but that shocks me because I don't think the thing would last long enough for these to, I don't know, wear away. But I'm not an expert. If you know differently, please feel free to let me know. So that's the second stage, and in the third stage, this is the shower head. If you unscrew that, you've got, this is like a laser cut finish there. I don't know if you can really see through it, but there's the finer holes. Obviously you've got your O-ring in the middle, and then this actually works as a compartment. Careful not to tip it all out. I'm amazed I haven't dropped these everywhere. And that's kind of like a refillable unit in itself, and you can actually open this up, and then inside you've got more of these, sort of like the third stage. I'm sure somewhere there's really detailed sort of scientific information on what the 3 stages do. I don't have that to hand, but so I mean, if you look in the literature, this is apparently making the water more alkaline. I don't know, but like I said, the results I've used and felt have been really good. And I noticed going back when this first broke, the first one I had broke, I noticed that I can't explain it, but the water felt different, felt heavier in some strange way. So, but yeah, and then obviously, you know, this just all pops back together again unless you've got dirty water and it needs to be cleaned out. I can't imagine you would really need to break this thing down. I mean, I'm only doing it now just to have a look. And as I said at the beginning, incredibly easy. I don't think I will even bother to show you, but you unscrew your old shower head and this just screws right on. It just can't be more straightforward. It takes no skill and about 1 minute to change them over. So as I always say, any questions, anything you want me to test out, or please do feel free to let me know. Send us an email or comment, and I'll try and look into it. Thanks a lot.